Hello, go horrors and fellow deadites, and welcome to Our Life in Horror. I'm Brendan.
I'm Sam, and we are joined by Jordana from Pretty Killer Podcast and Core Podcast. How you doing?
Hi guys, I'm doing great now that I'm here with you.
So I'm excited to
Good.
have you on.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here.
I know. We're gonna plug our accounts quick, and then we'll get you to do yours. So we are Our Life in Horror. We're on Instagram, X, TikTok. Am I forgetting something? We're on YouTube.
YouTube.
We're on YouTube now. Um, we also have a Patreon where we do after-hour shows. We've got new segments. I'm reading books, like extreme horror books. So I'm reading like a chapter at a time and releasing it. I've got a couple people following along.
Yep.
You're doing non-horror reviews on there now, a little sprinkled in. Yeah, we've got a Discord where we all chat. Shout out to our Patreon members, Sean, Miki, Bo, AJ, Rob, Kayla, Jay, and Craig. I need to write that down. Thank you for subscribing. Did I get everything? I'm thrown off. This is my first time doing our new format where we're cutting the pre-show. You did it last week, but this is my first.
Yeah, I also butchered it, so it's okay.
Okay. Jordana, you want to plug your accounts and also talk about your podcast, and you can talk about both podcasts. Tell people about them.
Sure, absolutely. So, Pretty Killer Podcast, you can find me on all the platforms that Sam just said. I don't have a Patreon quite yet, but that's kind of maybe in the future. And that's just like me, not really by myself. I have like guests on. And then I have the Core 4 pod with Mark, Aubrey, and Matt, which is so much fun. You can find us on Instagram and where you find your podcast. And then I'm also in another podcast called Feature Creatures DTF
Oh,
with
I didn't know that.
yes, with Sam, one of my really good friends. And we just were like, hey, we click. Yeah, we my first episode. Okay, so real quick. I got the page and I'm like, I'm gonna drop an episode. I had no idea about podcasts. You know what I mean? Like when you come into it, you just kind of like, oh, that seems easy. Well, it's not. There's so much to it. And I finally, like after I want to say 9 months after like saying, oh, episode one's coming, I finally dropped the episode and it was with Sam. And we talked about Jaws for 3 hours.
Oh.
So I felt like I found like my person who equally loved Jaws as much as me. So we decided to do, it's kind of like just like a everything podcast, music, movies, food,
Oh, cool.
just everything. So that's what I got going
Awesome.
on. Yeah.
Awesome.
Busy.
Yeah, very busy.
Very busy, but you know what? It's so much fun to like connect with people and talk about things that you truly love and enjoy. So it is work, but it's fun.
Yeah. All right. We getting into the movie then.
Yeah, so the movie that we were reviewing today.
Let's have Jordana announce what the movie is since she picked it, and tell us why you picked this movie.
Okay, so the movie I chose was The Dark and the Wicked, because this movie actually scared me when I watched it for the first time. I love it, and I feel like every single time I watch it now, I pick up on different things that I didn't see before.
Okay. Yeah. It's a good reason to pick it.
Yes.
So I'm gonna get into the cast and stuff, and then we will get into the discussion. The Dark and the Wicked was released November 6, 2020. Plagued by waking nightmares, two siblings suspect that something evil is taking over their family at an isolated farmhouse. This has a 6.1 on IMDb and a 63% on Rotten Tomatoes. Director is Brian Bertino. I forgot to look up like what else he did.
Strangers.
Oh, The Strangers,
Yes.
right. It's right in the trailer.
Yep.
I just watched the trailer again today. I did not see a budget, but box office was 422,000. This was starring Marin Ireland and Michael Abbott Jr. So spoiler-free thoughts. What do you think of this movie?
Okay, so initially, this movie just felt like so unsettling from the beginning. Like throughout the whole movie, I just felt I don't want to say like uncomfortable, but it's just so like sad and bleak and it makes you just feel a certain way. And I thought that it was crafted so well with that feeling and like the way that You could feel like the family's pain on top of like the jump scares, and I don't know, it's just something about it that I love so much.
This was our first time watch.
Yes, it was.
I've had this movie on my movie shelf since 2020. Never got around to watching it.
That happens a lot with movies.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
So I was finally excited to dust it off and watch it. Yeah, like you said, this movie is extremely bleak.
Hell yeah.
It's almost like all the bright colors are sucked out of the movie. So it just adds this atmosphere of dread and creepiness, essentially. Like a really good I was gonna say atmosphere again. I don't know why I keep coming back to that, but it's just got a really foreboding. You just know something bad is gonna happen, and there's nothing any of the characters can do about it other than kind of go through and endure it. And you're sitting there enduring it with them.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
it makes it even just a harder watch by the time you hit the end of this movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always feel bad when I have an opposite opinion as everyone else, but it makes for a good podcast. I didn't love it. Um, for me, I don't know if it's because we just watched When Evil Lurks last year. It kind of reminded me of that movie a tad bit, but When Evil Lurks really went there, whereas I wasn't too affected by this one. There was a couple good scares and the atmosphere is really good, but I didn't love it. And I'll explain more when we get into spoilers, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
No, I absolutely love it when there's differences of opinions because, you know, everyone's thoughts could either have you see something you didn't, or, your opinions could definitely have total merit in the whole conversation. And I love it. I love when it's not a unanimous decision.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we're getting into spoilers. So if you click this episode, you've probably seen the movie, but if you haven't, shoo off and go watch the movie.
And then come back and
Yes.
finish this.
Yes.
All right, so describe this movie in 3 words. Jordana, you can start.
Scary AF.
Okay, yeah.
I got dreadful, atmospheric, and creepy.
Okay. I went dark, spooky,
Mhm.
and I said forgettable.
Oh.
That's my personal opinion, obviously. We're gonna move on.
I love it though, because you know what? Sometimes it's just not a hit. It doesn't land. And I like that you compared it to When Evil Lurks because it does have that feeling. And When Evil Lurks definitely went there.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if I saw this movie before that, if it would have been a little bit more of a hit for me, maybe. But
Yeah.
I don't know, just with like the dad in the bed and like obviously there's Rodden in the bed in the other movie and just I don't know. It just gave me those
I can
vibes.
see it actually now that you bring it up.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
The parallels are definitely right. Yeah, like saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, who is your favorite character?
I love Louise. I know that she, is pretty much like her and Michael are the main. But I really liked her character because you could see how she was feeling. You could see that it was just riding on her. The relationship that she had with, oh my God, what's his name? The guy that worked for them. God,
Charlie.
what is his name? Charlie, yes. Seeing their relationship and having that almost as deep as her connection with her parents, that really hit for me. So I really like Louise.
Yeah, I also put Louise down as well. She is the one, like you said, endures everything, and she's the one that's not afraid to also run away when things are getting tough. She truly does try to stick it out with her family and make sure that her dad does not pass away alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, I like that you said that because I didn't write anyone down for favorite character because I didn't really care for anyone, to be completely honest. But I'll go with Louise because of that aspect. She actually wants to stay there with her dad, and that's cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna
I
win
don't
her
know,
over. We're gonna win her over,
Yeah,
Jordana. Trust me.
maybe.
it's a slow battle. It's like with the rabbit and the hare, rabbit
Yep.
speed or tortoise speed with her.
All right, least favorite character.
Least favorite character is the priest because he's an asshole.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like he's kind of, like the physical form of evil that we see in the movie. So I didn't really like him so much.
Okay.
I could, you know what? I could see that, but I love that actor so much. I was so pumped to see him in the movie. But you are right. He is despicable by the by his second encounter with them, and he's
Mhm.
almost this false prophet of hope, because if he did go there as the priest, then he's giving the mother there this false sense of there is an afterlife, or feeding her this information of this demon could be also instilling more fear into her, so she's more fearful of this demon. And these little crosses that he gives her are actually probably useless, because they're not blessed by any father at all.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
he is a despicable, icky character. I love him though.
Are you going with
Yeah.
him then?
Yes, I'm also going with the father.
Okay. I probably should have put him down. I kind of just went with Michael just because he's very hard and I don't know. He seems like he could be a little bit of a dick. He's got a very hard shell and just I don't know. I wish he had a little
Yeah.
bit more emotion with his sister, I guess.
And kind of like empathy for her because like
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Like yes, everything's going on with like the mom and dad, but have a little feeling for your sister. I mean, and he also too, he bolted.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the main reason where I was like, okay, I'm writing him down, but yeah.
Yeah. Like asshole, leave it and just leave it. Like I think that's so mean, especially with everything that occurred, up to that point. Think of how many like crazy encounters happened and he still left. Like I think that's kind of I don't want to say cowardly, but I think it's kind of lame.
Yeah, and unfortunately, some sibling relationships are like that. Like when things get tough with
Oh,
family, someone doesn't stick around, right?
yeah,
Luckily, my
exactly.
sister and I get along pretty well, but I've seen it in other people.
Mhm.
Mike
Definitely.
Michael is also the one that, with everything that happens, the first thing he wants to do is deal with the work, essentially. He doesn't want to stick around in the house and deal with his issues. He is right to work right away with Charlie for the most part, up until the end when he decides to leave. He's always like, "Oh, I gotta go help the goats
Yep.
work." And she's like, "Oh, can you just stay with me?" He's like, "No, I gotta continue working on this little
Mhm.
goat farm that they have."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Best acting.
Oh boy. I don't I hate going back to Louise, but I really love her range of emotion in this movie because there's just some scenes like the garage or the barn scene where they find the mom that like it just it jolted like a feeling and emotion in me. Just like hearing her cries and like throughout you can feel it physically, like her pain and like what she's going through and the confusion almost you that she wants to believe and then when she finally believes it's like okay, you know.
Yeah.
Did you have?
I would say the same. I just found the brother like he had one emotion throughout the whole movie pretty much. And like I said, just that hard shell. So she definitely had the biggest rage that scared me.
I am so sorry. I said to
That's okay.
Greg, I'm like, make sure you keep Wolfie under control because every time I record without fail, and when he does it, it's scary. My heart is beating so fast because it scares me.
Our dogs do it too, but I just wasn't expecting it from the other person.
It's like high pitched, and people don't know that he's right there, so they think it's me. I'm like, it's not me, it's him. I swear.
That's so funny.
Oh,
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's a 3 for 3 on this one. Marin Ireland also takes it. I think she does a great job of portraying fear, um, sadness, pretty much everything you get, because you don't get too many happy moments in this movie, so you don't really get to see that side of her character. But the fear in her eyes and the expressions on her face when she's going through what she does throughout this movie is very convincing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Score and soundtrack.
Oh, so the score, to me, it sets the tone. Like I feel like everything together in this movie just worked for me. Like the atmosphere, the actors, the sounds. It just kind of like married well into this like ball of sadness.
Yeah.
I don't have too much. It was my first time watch, so I just kind of the score is always something that eludes me on the first time watch, unless it's something like crazy. Like if it's a movie from the 80s, of course you're gonna notice the score.
Mhm.
I will say that the sound design is really good for this movie as well. When you get the mom chopping the fingers,
Ugh.
and you can really hear how hard she is slamming that knife down.
Mhm.
Oh my God, yes. The carrot scene. Oh,
Yes.
It
so bad.
reminded me a little bit of the last Grudge movie where she was cutting stuff too. I think
Oh,
I
Lynch's character.
haven't seen it since the theater.
Yeah.
Probably won't watch it
Yeah.
again, but that's what it brought me back to.
Yeah.
That's funny they say that because we walked out of that movie during COVID. And I say this all the time. It speaks volumes because you know how like you were dying to get out in COVID at some point,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
finally got out and we're like, this movie sucks.
No,
And
thank
we like
you.
yeah, we walked out. I'm like, did we just walk out of a horror movie during COVID?
That's funny.
Wow.
That says a lot.
It does.
For me, scoring soundtrack, we watched this once. I'm going to say the same thing as you, and it was a couple weeks ago, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I did write down it was very intense, but I honestly don't really remember it that much. I'm sorry. We'll move into cinematography.
Oh, now cinematography. I love the way this movie was shot, the way like the colors, it just what to me felt bleak all throughout the movie. Even when it was like daytime to nighttime transitions, I still felt like there was just like this yuckiness. So I can appreciate that for the movie.
Yeah, I agree. There's like no color in this movie except for I noticed when this kind of segues into costumes and outfits, but the one girl that comes to the door and she's in the red, it really stood
Mhm.
out to me. And I was almost wondering if that's kind of like symbolizing maybe like the devil or something. But the rest of
That's
the
what I was thinking.
movie is just like depressing. But
Totally.
that part I actually do like about this movie was the cinematography. Just it does make you it's very dreadful.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this movie is definitely excellently shot. Like you guys talked about the atmosphere and how the colors behind it. I put down some specific shots. There's a sequence of the dog barking.
Wolfie in the window.
When Louise is kind of shutting down the house for the night, it's a one-shot scene. She goes and locks the door, and then she walks past her parents' door, and then there's the silhouette standing there, and then she walks back, the silhouette's still standing there. She closes the door, she comes back, then her mom steps out of the shadows. Like top
Yes.
notch. I think did that get me? I think that one. No, it wasn't that one
There
got
was
me.
another scene where
Yeah.
you jumped.
Yeah, I jumped pretty hard.
There are a couple of those.
Yeah. There's also the shots of I put down the shadow behind Louise in the goat pen. Um,
Yes.
so it's
Mhm.
a really good shot of the shadow growing behind her. I really liked, and then this is a sad shot, but it's the mom hanging,
Mhm.
and you're at the back of the barn looking at the brother and sister come in, sort out what's going on, but it's all that one shot scene from that angle, so you see everything that's going on. This movie is very, very well shot.
Mhm. Yeah, those are
Agreed.
some good scene choices.
Thanks.
Favorite costumes and outfits.
Oh God, I don't know if like to say, and I don't want it to come up, but like the mother, the way that she is after everything happens, and I know that she's naked, and I know it's weird to say, but just how she is, like her appearance, it's just so unsettling. And
Mhm.
we've seen it so many times in horror movies, but for some reason, she just creeped me out.
Mhm.
Like to no extent. Just all the scenes where she's either like it's like the shadow of her coming up and like approaching Michael in the barn, like that whole scene. It's just, or when she's even outside the window floating. So
Mhm.
done so well, but so creepy and effective.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have any favorite outfits. You know me for this one.
Yeah, I usually have tons of favorite outfits, but it's more for like the fun horror movies where they've got like, I don't know, either there's 80s clothes or
Yes.
like cute skirts or something. That you don't have that in this movie.
Yep.
But I'm gonna just point out the red jacket or I think it was a jacket that girl was wearing again, just because I thought maybe it symbolizes the devil.
Yes. Yes. And she was so creepy. Like
Mhm.
her delivery was really good too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Memorable lines.
Oh, I have one. When the priest is at the table, and I have to read from it, Boney says, "You think a wolf cares if you believe he's a wolf?" And then he sits there, he's like, not if he finds you alone in the woods. Like when he delivered that, I got goosebumps. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good one.
yeah, I
Nice.
love that one.
Um, I have. I think that I only have two. There's not too many crazy lines, but I told y'all not to come. Is the one that I have.
Mhm. I think this was when they were reading Devil, 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 he wants David's soul.
Oh,
Yes.
you didn't have the line that I have.
Oh, I don't?
Yeah.
That's the only one I had. Um, it's not like a movie like Bride of Chucky where every line is a banger.
Singer.
Yes.
So yeah, I just had the one. But did you have any more, Jordana?
I wrote like a ton down,
Okay.
but I just because there's so many like just creepiness, like subtleties to it. And like when they're reading from the journal, a lot of like
Mhm.
the excerpts from the journal were pretty gnarly. Just like being in that point of view of experiencing what someone else was going through. And then like as you're witnessing it happening. You know what I mean? So like you
Yeah.
would read that and be like, yeah, this would never happen. But as your family's going through it, you're reading it and you're like, oh God.
Mhm.
So
My last one was nothing worse than a soul left alone at the end.
Oh, yeah. That's dark.
Yeah.
Sad.
it cut out when he said it, but I imagine that it's probably sad. Because
Do you
Oh,
what
want
the
to say
movie
it
said.
again?
yeah. It's nothing worse than a soul left alone at the end.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Is that when the nurse was saying that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Kind of
depressing.
convinces Louise to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nurse, she was kind of like a key player that I thought about maybe mentioning as one of my favorites because she had a lot of insight and a lot of things that she said, like line wise, really hit. So
Yeah.
it's a good choice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did you have any more lines you wanted to bring up, or you pretty much said a lot of the book and stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Did you guys have any lines disliked? I didn't write anything.
I didn't really have any that I really truly disliked because I really liked the movie.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't really have any.
Okay. What's your favorite kill?
Oh my god. I think Michael's kill was the one that had like on a first time watch had my jaw on the excuse my language on the fucking floor because that is
Yeah.
just that like that scene broke my heart in the first before he took his own life, but
Mhm.
oof, that was pretty brutal.
Yep. That takes mine for favorite and least favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
That was actually my favorite as well. Just because of, yeah, like what he, like his family beforehand. And like, I thought that it actually happened, right? So
I,
obviously when
I
you
did
see
too.
that it didn't happen, you're like, oh, thank God. But at the same time, oh my God, he killed himself. And now his
Like
family
his
has to
family walks
find
in.
him. Yeah, no, that definitely, it sounds horrible, but that was my favorite part of the movie, probably. Just because I like when things go there and like that actually it went
Yes,
there for
I.
me.
Mhm.
Least favorite kill? You said that was your least as well, right?
Yes.
Did you have a least favorite kill?
I thought Charlie. I didn't like Charlie's death because I really liked Charlie because he clearly cared about the family. So when like he was having those visions of Luis and the little nighty and like then he blew his head off. I didn't like that. I like Charlie.
Okay.
Yeah, Charlie was definitely one of like my top tier characters in this movie.
Mm-hmm. I didn't write down a least favorite. I kind of want to bring up the nurse's kill too. I did like that one too. That's not a least favorite, but it was good.
It was. I loved your kill.
Gore factor and special effects.
I think the gore could have been amped up a little bit more. I mean, there was some scenes that it was kind of like I don't think gory per se, but I think they could have like heightened more throughout the movie. And kind of like went there like when evil lurks.
Mm-hmm.
Because they definitely went there with that gore factor. But
Yeah.
and the special effects are really good too.
Yeah, definitely. The special effects are very good in this movie. The blood is like dark. You know, when Michael slits his own throat, it's like a really dark blood coming out. And when the mom cuts her fingers out, it's also very good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I find that this movie al almost didn't have to go as hard as When Evil Lurks. I know that you guys wish that it kind of did, Sam. It's the same kind of story wrapped up, but it's different.
It focuses more on the atmosphere, maybe you think, rather than the goriness and brutality, or
Yeah, I think this movie's more about you getting to end your own life as where When Evil Lurks is a demon essentially taking over you and getting you to end your own life, like more like a virus.
mm-hmm.
This is almost
Mhm.
like a smile virus.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I think that just adds to the more of like the
Yeah, I can see
realism.
that.
Okay. Yeah, I thought everything looked good.
Mhm.
I kind of agree it didn't need to go as far as When Evil Lurks, but I would have liked a little bit more, maybe,
Yeah.
personally. But I thought everything that they did do looked good. Like nothing looked bad or anything. The fingers were fucking disgusting.
Oh, that scene, I can hear it as we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more death in this movie is I bet all you needed to like it. One more death. One
Maybe.
more good one.
I don't know. Storyline and pacing.
I really liked the storyline because I feel like we didn't know too much going in, and it gave us enough information to have us like, for me to have us involved and like want to know what's happening. And I like the pacing too. I like how it did the countdown of the days because shit was getting progressively worse and worse as the days went on.
Mhm.
And you kind of like dreaded when you would see, like for me, when I would see like Wednesday or like I'd see Thursday, I'm like, oh shit, like what's gonna happen now? You know?
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Me go first?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought for pacing wise, I thought the beginning was a little slow, but it did pick up after it didn't even take long to get to the mother's death. I don't know. It took me a little bit to get into this movie, but once that happened, I was like, oh, okay. I do like the storyline of how it manipulates you. You kind of mentioned this, how it manipulates you into taking your own life, I guess. Like that's just a
Mhm.
dark concept as it is. Um, but yeah, I don't know what exactly was missing for me. I'm not even sure how to pinpoint it, to be honest. Something.
Extreme gore. That's
Maybe.
what was missing for you.
Maybe it didn't get my interest completely. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a gore
I am a core whore.
I love that.
whore.
Yeah.
Like we've been talking about, I think the story is really good. I think the characters are all real and They're really fleshed out. I think they do have flaws to them, which also helps you relate to them all. Um, like we've been talking about with this essential demon, I like the aspect it tries to get you to basically how it gets people to commit self-harm. Um, I almost like it more than I like how it kind of played out in Smile. Um,
See, I really liked Smile.
I did too. Like,
Yes,
yeah,
me too.
they're two different beasts,
They are.
essentially. But yeah, I kind of like that one more. Um, the shower jump scare was the scene that scared the shit out of me.
Yes, that didn't even scare me. It was you jumping that scared me.
And you can see
I
that
love
fucking
that.
you can see that coming a mile away. But Jesus Christ, did I jump?
That one
Uh,
was so good.
but goddamn it, am I always in for a downer ending? And you get this in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
It's definitely probably within the top 10 bleakest endings I've ever seen.
I did appreciate the ending for this storyline.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah, 100%. Because I was just like, oh, nothing good came of this
No,
whatsoever.
absolutely nothing. They did not live happily ever after.
No.
Favorite scenes.
Ooh, so as much as I Michael's scene was super sad. I love that scene though because I felt like that was just like you weren't expecting that. I love Michael's scene in towards the end when the you could see like the devil or the image, the shadow growing, and then he turns around and she's right there. Like that jump scare got me because at the end wasn't there like two jump scares in one? It was like the front and then when he got knocked down to the ground, I think it was.
I
If
think
I'm
so.
Yeah, that one got me because I wasn't expecting like a twofer, which I can appreciate a twofer. Um, I'm trying to think what else. I really like the pre-scene though when he comes back at nighttime and like he tells her not to answer the phone and it's Charlie and it's just like the whole chaoticness of that scene. I really enjoyed that one.
Mhm.
Yeah. I also really enjoyed all the priest scenes. And then I like when Louise finds actually gets a hold of this priest and it turns out he's like in a complete another state and he's never been to where she lives. And he is
Yes.
basically just an incarnation of this demon fucking with her. So I love that whole side storyline.
Mm-hmm.
My absolute favorite scene is Michael's death with the family. Sounds so bad, but it's just it was effective. And I also like the scene with him where the light keeps going on and then he sees his mom outside and then she's behind him. That
Mm-hmm.
that was effective for me too. The shower scene was good, even though you scared me more than the actual scene did. But and we've said this so many times, the cutting of the fingers. I have to throw that in there as a favorite scene too. Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Least favorite scenes?
I don't have any. I like, yeah, like I personally don't have any least favorite scenes for this movie.
I surprisingly don't, but
Just didn't
I
click.
I don't really either. I didn't like all the goats dying. I'm one of those I'm that person that hates like animals dying in movies. Like kill the kids, whatever. Like add that element to it. Sure. Just don't touch the dog, the cat, the goats. Don't fuck with them.
yeah, that's usually my mindset as well. If the dog or cat dies, I'm pissed. But
Yeah.
go for the kids, man.
Yeah,
I
Take
agree.
them.
we we watched them not too long ago, and when like the main character realizes that they're have you seen them? The French
Which one?
The French Extremity
No.
movie? Oh, okay. All right, I won't give it away then. Oops.
Yeah. We'll just leave it.
Is it?
That's the one that the strangers was
I
or
want to watch it though because
We're like
oh we cut out.
we cut out there
I'm
for a
sorry, you
second.
guys. Yeah, everyone was cutting out, and I just just because I don't want to like talk over you guys or like try to think I'm like interjecting, but I'm trying to be more extreme. Like I want to watch more extreme horror
Mhm.
movies. So maybe I should watch that one. But does a dog die?
Yeah. I don't think there is a dog in that movie, is there?
No,
Okay, good.
Yes,
no.
there is,
Is there?
but I don't think it dies.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then I'll watch
There's
it.
a lot of good French extreme horror if you are wanting to get into extreme movies. Oh,
We can give you a list.
oh yeah.
Please do, because I feel like my gateway was Martyrs and Inside, and I
Yep.
loved both of them. And I was
Okay.
like,
Yep.
give me more of that.
Frontiers was really
I want
good.
more of that.
Frontiers. I love that one.
Yep.
Oh,
Did we cut
frozen
out?
again.
Yep.
Did you hear me say
Yeah,
Frontiers?
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
At the end I did hear you say Frontiers. I'm sorry, guys. I think
That's
my internet
okay.
sucks horribly.
That's okay. No worries. Yeah, I highly recommend Frontiers, though. It is going blind too. It's a wild ride.
Yes.
I like want to watch it tonight.
Do it and let us know how you feel about it.
I don't think it's
I
crazy
will.
long either. So
Yeah.
Even better. But yeah, send me a list though of like your guys' favorite extremes, and
Okay.
I'm going out of my comfort zone. I'm
Okay.
gonna do it.
All right.
all right.
Sounds good. Where did we leave off? The Killer?
We're on The Killer. Yep. Do you want to go first?
Sure. I basically just put that it's super manipulative, creating like fake scenarios, and it basically manipulates you into taking your own life, which is just really messed up. That's all I really have to say about it.
Okay.
It's not like a slasher.
Yeah, I know, and it's kind of like hard to like pinpoint the killer because it is like the demon, but
Mhm.
exactly what you said. It's just the way that they get into your mind and use like your family, well, obviously like close things to you as a pawn. I mean, that's it's terrifying that could possibly, you know what I mean, like happen in the realm of like a demonic possession or like a demonic whatever. But I don't know. It's just the killer in this one is so dark.
Mhm.
I agree. It basically feeding off grief and maybe even like regrets of people and how they should have maybe been there, but their family members longer than or more than what they should have been. Like we've all talked about with how it gets into your mind and will manipulate you into thinking that your family members that have passed are basically telling you that you're the reason why I passed and stuff like that. It's super dark and it's very effective, I
Mhm.
think.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're gonna get into our scary rating, and it's out of 10. How scary do you think this movie is?
I'm gonna go with an 8.5 because I feel like that's a good in between. Like a movie like this hasn't scared me since The Exorcist, like that uneasy feeling of like, I don't want to say realism, but you know what I mean? Like it kind of just hits you on this level of obviously something like that couldn't happen, but maybe if it did, like that would be the worst case scenario, and I would want no fucking part of it. So I think that like holds the score at the 8.5. And I think if we would have had a little bit more gore, it probably would have been higher. But
Okay. I'm gonna go with a 6. Those jump scares really did get me. Yeah, boy, did they get me. And there's just a good sense of atmosphere throughout this whole movie. So, yeah.
I'm personally going with a 4. I don't really know why. I think maybe it wasn't. I don't know. The jump scares didn't get me as much as they did you. I know that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it definitely has a spooky atmosphere, but like things have affected me more, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Valid.
Rewatchability, and would you recommend?
I've watched it multiple times. So the rewatch is kind of high for me, and I do recommend it to quite a few people. So
Okay. After what Jordana said about picking up on things on a second or a third rewatch, I think I would like to give this movie some more rewatches in the future. And I definitely would recommend this movie. I think this movie is very good. And it being a Shudder original too, this marks the bar up higher for other Shudder originals to follow in its footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
Rewatchability for me, probably not. Um, there's just other spooky movies I'd probably watch over this one if I were to put one on to rewatch. Would I recommend though? Yes, because a lot of people do talk so highly of this one. Like you guys both loved it, and all I've seen is good things for this movie. So I was a little shocked that I wasn't as on board as everyone else, but I would still recommend it to people because I do know it gets lots of love.
Maybe you
And I
need
also
to.
love that.
Oh. I was
Sorry.
gonna say maybe you need a rewatch.
Maybe not. What were you gonna say,
I'm good.
Jordana?
I think it's so awesome though that you don't fake it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's a lot of people with movies that just because like maybe masses like it, then they're like, oh, I really liked it. It's great to hear someone truly say it wasn't their cup of tea just because it just didn't land for you. You know what I mean? Like I just appreciate your honesty with it because there are, and I'm not, but there are some people that just I feel like hype a movie up because there's such like a backing to it or
Just to hop on the train. Yeah. Yeah, no,
yes.
I'm never gonna fake liking a movie.
No, she certainly is not. She didn't even like Night of the Creeps, and that movie is fucking awesome.
I thought it was okay. I didn't love it.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna say
you
I didn't love
You
it.
should have loved it.
I do love Night of the Creeps, but I do see where it maybe not it's not someone's cup of tea, I totally get that.
It's fine.
Especially all the Mia Goth lovers out there, and I'm here like, oh God. Don't even get me started on Pearl. Okay, let's
Wait, Sam, no wait. I just want to say thank you because I'm the same way. Like the X train, I can't with X. And like Pearl, I'm gonna rewatch though for Maxine. I'm gonna give it a second shot, but I just I personally for me, it didn't do anything for me.
X, I actually like. But I think Brittany Snow is the reason why. And just the 70s feels, and it feels Texas Chainsaw-y to me. But I wish it went more slasher and less, I don't know, weird, I guess. Like I wish the kills were a little better for me. Pearl, I will never rewatch again. That is nails on chalkboard for me. But I'm excited for Maxine. I'm gonna give it a shot. I just think she's really annoying though.
That's exactly how I feel.
Okay.
Yes, Infinity Pool. All I gotta say.
I liked Infinity Pool, everything except her.
Yes. I was just gonna say that if it would have been anyone else, I think I probably would have been into it. But Jamesy, just her voice, and I know.
Oh my God, I know it's so whiny.
Yeah, I can't.
I think personally, this is just my opinion. I would rather see her in a play in a theater rather than in a movie. Maybe I would like her better then because she's dramatic. And I'm just like, chill.
Relax, girlfriend.
Yeah. All the Mia Goth lovers are going to come for us now.
I know. I'm going to wake up and be like, no followers.
It is what it is. Okay, we'll get into our final movie rating. So we rate our movies with emojis out of 5. 1 out of 5 is the poop emoji. Then we have the eye roll emoji, the okay emoji, the thumbs up emoji, and a 100 emoji. If you're somewhere in between, you can say a high thumbs up or a low thumbs up. What would you rate this movie?
100.
Okay. That was quick.
Yep.
This movie is gonna get a thumbs up from me.
Okay. I'm gonna go with a low okay. Because I don't think it's terrible. It's just a little lackluster for me. But I don't think it's like a horror. Like I've seen a lot worse. but yeah. So we'll get into fun facts.
Ooh.
I don't have too many. There wasn't too many on this movie. I didn't even see a budget. So
Are these dark and wicked fun facts?
You're dark and wicked.
Oh, perfect.
The film was filmed at the director's family farm, which is kind of cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, kind of dark, actually.
Would you want to sleep in that house after this movie? After
wow.
watching this movie?
Yeah, I probably would be fine with it.
No.
Personally.
I think I'd be looking over my shoulder and probably seeing shit that I that's not there. I just be like,
Yeah.
what is that?
Yeah, because it's so rural, like
Yeah.
even on the inside.
Mhm.
Yeah, it just kind of gives it an automatic creepy atmosphere, especially with all the dim lighting.
Yes.
Before it was canceled, The Dark and the Wicked would have had its world premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival. Ella Ballantyne, the girl who visits the farm, appeared in Brian Bertino's previous film, The Monster. Is that the girl with the red coat, I'm assuming? Yes.
Yes. The monster, is, uh, is that the movie with the mom and the daughter? Like that, the monster movie?
I don't even know. I don't think I've ever heard of the
Is there
monster, to
sex
be
work
honest
in
with
that
you.
movie?
No, not the one I'm
Oh,
talking
okay,
about.
where's this guy? And
It's about a mom and daughter who's the mom's like an alcoholic and she's driving her daughter to her dad's because they're divorced, and then they get into a car accident, and then a monster starts stalking them.
Oh, I don't know what that
Oh.
is. I'm gonna look this up quick. Brian Bertino.
Okay. I'm just curious because I do love that movie, but it's also
It looks
another.
like it is. They're in a car.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, okay. I love that movie too, but it's another like slow burn movie.
Okay. I don't do well with slow burns, so that might be like,
Yeah, it might not be your thing.
yeah, I want to check it out though, because from what he's produced, like The Strangers in this, um, but I'm with you, Sam. Like slow burns, if there's a good payoff, then I'm okay for like a slow burn, but it has to be like worth it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
or have something at the end. But I'm gonna check that out too.
Yeah, there's good character growth, I guess, throughout the movie.
Okay. When shooting the scene where the priest is waiting outside the gate at the front of the driveway and Michael pulls up, Xander Berkeley actually had a large spider dangling from his hat.
Oh,
Oh,
ew.
I didn't even notice that.
Me neither. One rainy day on the set, makeup artist Tara Brawley's truck got stuck in the mud out by the pet cemetery and was rescued by the Gaffer, Jesse Curl, and his equipment. Jesse Curl is also the inventor of the Curl Grip, an innovation in dolly grippery employed for the first time in this film. What are these words? That's such a random fun fact.
Those all sound made up.
Yeah, it does.
Ollie gripper purr.
Lies.
Dolly grippery.
Ollie grippery. Yeah, that's definitely made up.
All right, I'm moving on. At 1 hour 18 minutes. Am I reading that right? Yeah, the votive candle the nurse places on the bedside table has the image of Nuestra Senora de Guadalupe, in English, Our Lady of Guadalupe. This icon is venerated mostly in Mexico and some places in the south of the United States where Latin people live.
But what does she represent?
I don't
I don't know.
What was her name again? Guadalupe?
Yep.
I'm saying Guadalupe. That sounds better.
There's no hyphen on your notes. It's
There
okay.
isn't, thank you.
Oh, maybe there is.
No, that's a whatever. It's like not one of these, not two of these, it's one of these.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, what is the one? It's like,
I
yeah.
forget what it's called. Those quotation marks and what's one?
Hyphens?
Maybe?
No.
I don't know.
I swear I graduated from high school.
I know.
It's been so long though.
Truly.
The last one is obvious. Every on-screen death is a suicide.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, those are my fun facts.
Awesome. I love them.
In short.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are we doing next week?
Next week, we are going to be doing a review on Night Swim.
Yes, just the two of us because we've never seen it and it's getting a lot of hate.
Yeah.
And so I kind of want to give it a shot.
I'm with you guys. I feel like when the masses hate something so much, I usually love it. Like Texas Chainsaw 2022. I love that one. And everyone hates it, despises it. And I still I love
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, okay, the first time we watched it, I say that, tell this story all the time.
Yeah.
We were on mushrooms the first time we watched it. So
Yeah.
visually, it was really cool and I didn't mind it, but I rewatched it not long ago and it just didn't give me what I wanted for a Texas Chainsaw movie personally. So I
Mhm.
don't love it, but I mean,
I
you
can
do, then that's
I
fine.
can see that though, because it was like they're trying to do like a Halloween thing, bringing Sally.
Yeah, the
Hmm.
Legacy
Yeah.
sequel.
Yeah.
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 I hated that too. That was like even
Mhm.
like I've only seen it the one time, which was on mushrooms. But I liked most of it except for the Sally aspect. I thought they did her very dirty.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
wish Leatherface put someone on a fucking hook. No one got hooked.
I know. I was waiting for that too. I'm like, when is that gonna happen? But I
Yeah.
loved like, I'm jealous that you guys got to see it on mushrooms for the sunflower scene alone.
Oh
Like when he
yeah.
popped his
Yes.
head out, I would have been like, oh,
Yeah. Everything was visually very nice for that movie each time.
I bet. I saw Saw when it came out in theaters. I saw Saw on mushrooms in the theater, and
In
like
theaters.
yeah,
Oh,
and
I
I'm not
could
even kidding.
never.
It was like 2 seconds, like at the end when they do the reveal, and it's like the memories of what happened before. I feel like the whole time we were there, it was just that really fast, like 2 seconds, and then it was done, and we're sitting there like, and the guy's like, "You have to leave." And we're like, "What?" And I don't remember like any of the movie.
That's so funny. Oh, I could never go to the theater on them.
Yeah,
I
which
know. I
is
could, and it, yeah, I couldn't believe that I did.
That's
yeah,
awesome though.
to see that movie on mushrooms too. Nope. I
Yeah.
remember when I watched that movie for the first time when I was a kid, and that movie scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's so good. It's just with that reveal at the end too. It's one of the
Mhm.
most iconic ones. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
thank you for having me. And I'm really sorry if I like sounded like I was cutting people off, but my audio is
No, don't worry. I'm worried about cutting
glitching.
people off even when we're not lagging. So
I,
don't worry about it. Zoom is weird.
but
Are you?
I thank you guys for like last rescheduling
Yeah,
and
no worries.
just connecting. I had a lot of fun talking to you guys. I'll have to have you guys on my show for
Yeah.
sure.
Would love to.
Yeah, let us know when and we'll
Yeah,
set something up.
Yeah.
Are you joining us for the
definitely.
after hours? Did I tell you about that?
You just glitched out again, babe. So I didn't hear
Okay,
any of
sorry.
that. It's okay. I'm sorry.
Are you joining us for the after hours?
Yeah, I would love to. Am I like super like glitchy though to you now? Or
No,
is
no.
everything still good?
No, we
Okay.
No,
don't.
you're okay. Yeah.
And we only really run the after hours for like half hour anyway. It's just a shoot the shit episode.
Hell yes. I'm
Okay.
definitely down.
Okay. Do you want to plug your account one last time for everyone?
Yep. So Pretty Killer Podcast. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, X, YouTube, and then Core 4, Instagram, Feature Creatures, Instagram. That's all I
Awesome.
got.
Want to plug us out?
Absolutely. We are Our Life in Order. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and X. We are on YouTube, and we're also on Patreon, where we do the occasional bonus episodes, after hours pods. We do some votings for movies that we cover on the show. I do solo non-horror movie reviews, and Sam is doing a book read.
Yeah, I'm really rough at reading out loud, but I'm trying my best.
You got
People are listening, so
That's awesome.
yeah. All
Love
right.
that.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone, and stay spooky.